Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Tectonic Traveler. I'm Darren, and hey, I got the approval to tell you a story from a friend that I would never tell, but she's a subscriber and she said just tell the story. It's a perfect story and I want to do it. I thought about not doing it. Hey, if you haven't been here before, welcome. And we talk about bike touring, bike packing, stories. We do a lot of stories because I've been kind of slacking. I just got off a trip. And tips, safety tips, definitely safety tips. I travel all over the world, South America mainly, Eastern Sierra, and Cascade Sierra all the way down is kind of my specialty, and I'm sure somebody else is doing that too. All right, so let's get into it. Let me do this. Okay, I got invited to a job up near Yosemite, California, which I used to spend months at a time in. To a friend's house to do some carpentry work. I'm a carpenter, and I was going to be doing finish work on a place that she runs, which is way kind of up outside of town where she lives. So I wouldn't be staying with her. I'd be doing this job up there. And normally she has her boyfriend or whatever doing this work. So, but he's gone for 6 months, traveling or something. I don't know. So I didn't know that whole story, but. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll go up there. It's an old place. Yeah, pretty old anyway. Probably built in the 30s, 20s or 30s. And there's horses there. And long story short, it's just way up this little windy road. It's kind of spooky just going there. And so I did a lot of biking around there while I wasn't working, when I wasn't working. And I'd go down to her house in town. The town is Mariposa, California, near Yosemite. And, you know, I don't know, it's kind of a rough little town. It used to be really cool. It's probably always been rough, you know. 1800s, whenever it was established, I'm sure it was way rougher. But now you got a different kind of roughness, you know, like you do everywhere else. And we talk about that a lot here because we're biking, we're out in it all the time. It's kind of squirrely, you know. Anyway, so I get there and, you know, it's all cool. Get some groceries and I head out to the house, and really cool. So let me describe the house real quick. It is on the same property that the Ahwahnee Indians that came from Yosemite. They kind of got kicked out of there by the government over time. They filtered them out and they gave them crummy jobs, and it's a sad story. But the very last Ahwahnee Indian lived on this property, and her name was Toituya. Toituya is how you say it. I can't spell it for you right now. I'm not sure if it'd be right. You can look it up, Toituya. And I'm on that property. He was really bitching, and you know, and I'm not in the same house. Or she had a cabin that was long gone, way down below. And so, you know, that was kind of wild. She didn't appear as a ghost there or anything. This is not where we're going with this. This is kind of even more squirrely. And anyway, so I'm up there, and it's the old cherry wood paneling like this, but the brown stuff and a big deer head, you know, the classic, you know, spider webs up on the deer head. But it was a B&B, and it was kind of dusty, and everything was old, the old stuff, and 2-story, and there was just one room upstairs, and I didn't stay up there, and then the downstairs room, and it had a wild vibration, just kind of I don't know what to say, you know. I'm real, obviously, I've been talking about that. I feel a lot of stuff, and it had a lower vibration to it. But anyway, I slept pretty good, and kept working, and I'd hear stuff fall on the roof, but it was just branches, you know, but it was like, whoa, shit, it'd wake me up and scare the living shit out of me. And so it just had a weird feel. And go back down to do some work at her house. And I was at her house, and the cops are showing up a couple times. Let's go backward. These white vans are showing up like bail bonds guys. You know, that's what, well, I don't even know if that's what they were. But that's what she finally told me. Those are bail bond guys. And, you know, my boyfriend, and something with her boyfriend, and he didn't pay his bail or something. So I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to work down there for a few days at her house, unfortunately. And so I'm working there, and one day I'm working, and all of a sudden all these cops pull up and these like plainclothes, and they run out. As a woman, it was a woman first, and she's got a gun and everything, running up to the door. She's got her gun ready, and not like out like this, but you know, she has her gun, and they're all knocking on the door, and I'm working like on the garage over there, and there was someone else in the house, a relative that's, I didn't go in the house very much, somebody there, and they talked to him, and oh, he's not here, you know, he's not here, and so wow, it's kind of weird. And what was weird is they didn't even come up to me, so they must have pictures of the guy, I'm assuming, because they didn't run up to, they didn't even talk to me, and I'm ripping plywood with a skill saw, you know, I'm cutting, and I'm like, wow, and she goes, yeah, sorry, I'm sorry about that, very embarrassing. And I go, no problem, you know, shit happens. And then I went back up to, you know, to the house outside of town, and then the next day at work, she goes, hey, just you know, you can stay down here if you want. I go, no, that's all right. So because she thought I might be afraid, or maybe she was afraid, I couldn't figure it out, and I wasn't going to stay down there. The guy could show up. And so I go back up to where I am, and I go to bed, or I get ready for bed, and all of a sudden there's a pounding on the door, pound, 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 and it's the cops, and they're like, so it's the cops pounding on the door of the B&B, way the hell out of town where I am, and they're like, and it was the lady that I had seen earlier that day. Obviously, she's like leading the pack, and she's like, yeah, we need to go to the house. She basically just said, get out of the way. She recognized me. Obviously, she knows I'm kind of like around, and I was down at the other house and never said anything to me till later. And they went through the house and everything, and they're ripping the house apart. And then I hear another guy upstairs in that little room I never went in, and they go, hey! You know, they're yelling up there. I don't know what they were saying, and everybody charges upstairs in that little room. And I was just getting ready to go to bed, and he's in there. He was in that fucking room, and it had an attic. You know, if you're in an attic, and they make half of it into a room, and then there's a door into the attic part, right? And I'm sure enough, not going in there, right? And I'm glad I never did. But what's weird is for days I heard upstairs kind of little creaking around, like, but you know, the house really had noises and not anything that scared me. I didn't really feel like there was a ghost. So yeah, man, pretty wacky. They ripped him away and took him away, and they talked to me a little bit after, saying, you know, sorry we had to do that to you, you know, never asked me anything, or my ID, my passport, and anything. And fuck, are you kidding me? That one cost me some underwear. Nearly. Or some bike shorts, maybe. Hey, man, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If I get the approval from people, I can tell more stories like that. I'm sure you guys have some wild and wacky stories. Let me know. Put it in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching.